When I was in high school, I so desperately wanted an eraser. You know how when you take a test and you make a mistake and you erase it and you put the right answer in? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with this type of mistake. What mistake did I want to erase? Well, at the age of 16, I had an abortion. When I found out I was pregnant, my emotions hit me like a roller coaster. My boyfriend and I were not expecting to become pregnant because I was on birth control. I can remember it like it was yesterday. The nurse came in and said, "Congratulations, you're pregnant." When a woman finds out they're an unplanned pregnancy, their emotions are all over the place, and they don't know which one to listen to. On one hand, I knew it wasn't about me anymore. I knew that every decision that I make was not only affecting me, but the life that's growing inside of me. On the other hand, I was shocked, terrified, and scared. I cried the day I found out I was pregnant. So from there on out, I was debating on what I wanted to do. Rather to give my baby up for adoption or keep my baby. I actually looked into an adoption center to learn more about my options. But the father of my child was not having that. He wanted us to raise the baby ourselves. The same day I found out I was pregnant, I told my mother and grandmother, thinking that we would go home and discuss all of my options. But the only option that was presented to me was abortion. I was devastated because I really thought that my grandma would be the number one person to understand because she had my mother at 16 years old. But she actually encouraged me to get the abortion as well. Can you imagine being a mom or dad at 16 years old? Neither could I. Being a teen parent also poses different types of adversities, such as the usual homework, studying for a test, lack of sleep, financial issues, and just plain lack of support. Being a teen parent is not easy, but to me, a woman who had encountered having an abortion, I'd welcome those type of adversities than what I experienced. But what unfolded for me was the emotional battle that I had between my mother, my grandmother, my boyfriend, and myself. I just couldn't believe that they didn't give me a choice or a different option. It was draining me to the point where I was just so tired of the back and forth of going through it. My boyfriend and I were trying to convince them for us a different option, but they were not attempting to listen. So I gave up and I gave in. I agreed to have the abortion. I just didn't want to be a disappointment to my family or his family anymore. So I agreed. I just wanted to get it done. I just wanted so much for this abortion just to be my eraser, to undo my unplanned pregnancy. 2 days prior to me having the abortion, my boyfriend and I broke up. It was exhausting just knowing that our child, was going to be gone. So on February 18th, 2011, my baby was gone. And so was a part of my heart and soul. That was the worst day of my life. Well, a few days after me having the abortion, it did feel like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. The battle was over in my eyes, but it was actually just beginning. few weeks after me having an abortion, I did things that you normally just don't do. It wasn't part of my character. And I hung out with people who I didn't really hang out with usually. I was just trying to just hide the pain. And then it got so bad, I didn't want to go to school anymore. I remember it was English. I was in school, and my favorite subject is English, and we had a big test that was worth 400 points towards my grade. So let me tell you what I did. I sat down for the test. I wrote my name on the test, and I turned it in blank and walked out the classroom. I couldn't bring myself to write. I was emotionally devastated. 3 months after me having an abortion, the effects of abortion hit me like a baseball bat. I had uncontrollable crying spells. I lost my appetite. I slept 14 hours a day. And I also lost friends because they didn't know how to help a friend through that, because I didn't continue my pregnancy. They didn't know how to do it. They didn't have the fortitude, the mind to help me. So I lost relationships. I actually tried to use drugs and alcohol, try to numb the pain inside, but that actually created another problem. I felt so alone. I felt completely depressed. But later on, I discovered I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one that went through this. Studies have shown from all around the world, actually, that women actually experience the same thing that I did. Women who had an abortion had a higher rate of anxiety, check. Alcohol misuse, check. Marijuana misuse, check. And also suicidal thoughts, double check. Abortion doesn't only just affect the women, it affects men too. Let me tell you something about the guy that I was dating. He was the type of person where he knew how to mask his pain. He knew how to hide it well, and people knew that about him. And when he was going through this with me, even though we were broken up, we were still best friends. And people could see the pain that he was carrying every single day. And since I've known him so well, he just showed me his true colors. And that was the first time in a long time I've seen a man cry so hard. It was just devastating to see him like that. I thought abortion was just going to be, this eraser that was going to help me. But then I actually discovered that abortion is not this easy eraser. It's like taking a test and permanent marker. It can never be erased. My pain and regret of having an abortion is forever written in my heart with a permanent marker. It took me 3 years to move out of depression and to receive healing. And I continue my healing process by educating others about how abortion hurts. I reminisce now, and I want to express to you teenagers that every decision that you make has a consequence. But you also have a voice and you also have a choice. If I was to do this all over again, I would choose happiness and I would choose life. Thank you.